Do you miss the good old days of the arcade? Can't get out much anymore because of local restrictions? Arcade games are great fun, but expensive. You can have them in your own home, they take a lot of space. Handheld devices are awesome, but they eat batteries like nothing. Fortunately, we have a solution for you. Instant arcade games with the Sinclair ZX Spectrum. Just add imagination, a bit of typing, and all your arcade dreams come true. Buy now! Today we are looking at Gene Frost's instant arcade games for the Sinclair ZX Spectrum, which is a lovely cover picturing some space battle with UFOs, and we're already in the second wave. So what is it? It teaches you how to write basic games, and the way it does it is using a building blocks approach, which they call a selection of Lego bricks. They give you a control program, which we are typing in here, which is copiously commented with lots of nice comment blocks with asterisks. And the trick here is to remember that if you've got a single digit line number, then you need to do 2 less characters than you think you do. So the control section is all about going to instructions with a go sub 1000, then you go to the background, then you fill in the graphics, then you do start, then you do moving, checking for hit, explosions, everything's in subroutines, which can then be replaced. And here we run it. We've got the control program all typed in, none of the subroutines yet though, but the control structure is there. We can then just slot in whatever we like by typing it in from the book. So it runs and it works. Absolutely fine, because it goes to go sub 1000, and of course that's not there. So what is go sub 1000? Go sub 1000 is the instruction section, where we tell you what to do. And not only do we tell you what to do, we also tell you what the keys are, and actually activate the keys. So when we tell you, for example, that you press 0 to fire, we also tell the game that this game allows firing, because it's entirely possible to have games where you cannot fire. So here we are setting the initial border colour to 1. I'm trying to set the background colour to 1 as well, which is blue, obviously, as we all know. Ink 7, so nice bit of contrast. Clear the screen. So a bit of colour. We're on the Spectrum, we want colour, but not on the ZX81. And then we set our initial value. So left is 0, we're not using left. Right is 0. We're not using right. Down is 0. We're not using down. Up is 0. We're not using up. We're setting fire to 0. We're not using fire, because this control program we can use for anything. We're not using hyperspace, which is another option we have in the game. And now we're going to say, right, here's what you need to do, because these are the instructions. And the book makes extensive use of the over keyword. So we're printing at the exact same space, but over 1, and we're putting the underscore character in, which gives us a nice underline effect. Over is much more useful than I thought it was. I thought you could just use it for this, or maybe accent characters on non-English languages, but it's much, much more useful. Now we're going to do here, we're going to say, well, okay, once you've read the instructions, you need to press any key to continue. And if in keys is nothing, then we keep going back. And finally, the end of every subroutine, here we are, that's the instructions. Nice and simple. We can't do anything in the game, but it's there. So we've now moved on a bit. We're now going to set up the background. The game gives a selection of backgrounds to choose from. The first one we're going to use is going to be small stars. I'll show the other ones later. So we're going to do some kind of space games, which we need small stars. And we generate small stars by setting the border to be black, because we're in space. The background paper to be black, again we're in space. And the ink should be 7 for a bit of contrast. If it was ink 0, we wouldn't be able to see. And now we're going to have a little bit of a loop. If I get the right keyword, it's not go to 1, it's 4. So we're going to do 26 stars and plot a random ink colour. So ink can be times 4 plus 3. So it's 0 to 3 plus 3. So that's going to be from magenta to white at a random position on the screen between 0 and 255 and 0 and 175, and then loop around. Just a section of dots, coloured dots on the screen, and then we return. And let's see what this looks like. There it is, scatters there. It's attractive. So we're now going to sort out the player's start position by setting some interesting variables. So we set various things here, like aliens is 10, score is 0, ammo and fuel are both set to 10. We're starting the player on row 21, which is the bottom of the screen. Column 15, that's the middle, so middle bottom. However, there's also an option to not play a shooting game, but in fact a dodging game. And if you're doing a dodging game, then you don't start in the middle of the bottom. In fact, you start middle at the top. And we detect this by using the fire variable. And here we run. A nice stars appear, and we also now have a graphic at the bottom of the screen. Progress. We're now adding in the movement. So this is the bit of the game where we go, right, if the alien isn't there, then we need a new alien. So dead is 1, which means the alien is dead. So if the alien is dead, we set the R row to 1 and column to a random number. So that'll be at the top of the screen. We set the old column to the current column, and we set dead to 0. The alien's now not dead. So we run this, we got our stars, alien at the top, spaceship at the bottom. And that only took us 27 minutes. What can we do now? So now I'm going to look for the hit detection. So if you press fire, we go here and see what's going on. So key means have you pressed 0. So if you've not pressed the right button, then you just return. Otherwise, we're going to do a little bit of printing. We're going to calculate our BX, which is the beam of laser, which is our current column times 8, because plot uses pixels rather than characters, plus 3, start a bit above the ship, starting the row above the ship. Now I'm going to plot over 1, so we don't overtype any graphics you currently have. Draw over 1 to not overtype any graphics, because we not have stars in the background or other graphics. We're going to draw 166 pixels straight up. And then we can do a little beep of a random tone for 1/10 of a second. We're then going to do another plot to put ourselves back where we were. So plot over 1, it's an exclusive OR. So if there's something already there, is that an exclusive OR? I don't know. If it's something already there, we don't replace it. We do replace it, who knows. We zap it out. And then we draw the line again. So this time, we draw a line, beep for 10th of a second, and then the line disappears. Now it's the hit detection. So if the alien is in the right column, and the alien is anywhere apart from the bottom row, if they've not already landed, then we set hit to 1, and then we return. There is no fancy explosions, anything in this section, because those bits are in Subroutine 1700, which gives us a variety of special effects. This one we've chosen the blip explosion, which just has 5 or 6 little blips of a 1/100th of a second ascending, and that's all it does. And at the end of the section, we need to add a bit of code we've not done here, which is removing the alien and making it dead. And here's we've got to so far after 38 minutes. We have the alien, we have the score, we have fuel. So we are making progress. So 44 minutes in, what have we got? We've got instructions, we've got stars, we've got aliens, and the alien is now descending down the screen. Unfortunately, it's leaving itself behind, which is going to make the game a little bit more difficult, because which one do we shoot? And we've missed one already. He appears over on the left-hand side, he's coming in, and it's a bit of a mess. And unusually, this is not my fault. A lot of the problems with these games are I've typed something in wrong because I'm an idiot or I pressed the wrong key. This one, it's not my fault at all. It's the game's fault. Because it's all about line 1520. OC is where the alien was before, then we move it. We are setting OC to the new column twice, and we shouldn't do that we should set OC to the new column after we've replaced the alien with itself. So what we're now doing is we are printing over the alien with itself, which places it with what was there before. So now we don't leave rubbish all over the screen. So now let's look at the backgrounds. This is the plain black background, which you just get with border 0, paper 0, ink 7, clear screen. It's not particularly exciting, but it's functional and gives you an idea of what you can do. We then look at the seascape, which is a blue background with a cyan user-defined graphic of a little wave. It's not really appropriate for a Space Invader game, but for a sea battle involving pirates, it would work rather well. Now we have the desert with a red border, yellow background and green cacti. In fact, in this one you could be cowboys defending yourself against carnivorous flies. Or for a more wintry appeal, we have the ski slope, white background, green trees. Possibly in a homage to a popular ski game at Ski Sunday. We saw small stars earlier. These are large stars. User-defined graphics, big chunky fellows, different colours, and nice and bright. Unfortunately, it goes right down to the bottom line, so there's a chance that it can override your basic character. It's not really quite as pretty as we'd like, but it's interesting. Now for life in the big city, it's the night skyline. It's black, we've got blue user-defined graphics with yellow and blue representing the lights of skyscrapers. I really rather like this one, it's rather jolly. And now we have the city skyline, it's daytime, and you have distant buildings. Unfortunately, they're on the same row as your spaceship is. This would work if you're a flying game above it, maybe shooting down enemies going left to right. As a Space Invaders game, it's not really great. So what I've now tried is you can actually print on the bottom 2 rows of the screen using print #1 at. Unfortunately, there's a bit of a gap between the spaceship and the laser shooting out, which looks a bit rubbish. And you can't fix that because you can't plot or draw on the bottom 2 rows. Because plot 00 is 2 rows above the bottom, as we shall see here. Plot 0, there it is. So there's a gap there. So the best I can do is draw 1 below the skyline. This is now, I've moved on a little bit. Well, I'm combining a couple of the backgrounds. I've combined small stars and the night skyline, but also added a moon of my own. So we have a nice moon overlooking the stars. Also, whenever we shoot the alien, we get a new character, because the book supplies about 12 to 15 different user-defined graphics for the choose the aliens. So what I'm now doing is whenever I shoot an alien, I change the character to a thing based on the score, thinking, or aliens I'm using. So essentially, we're moving through the characters, because you can do that using maths. User-defined graphic A is character string 143. And then you add a number to it. In this case, I'm using the score divided by 10. So as soon as I score this one, we move on to the next character. And zap, bosh. Here we are, it's an alien tank. And we've now unfortunately run off the end of our characters. This is character L, which is currently not defined. If it was defined, we'd see something, which is just the letter L. Not the end of the world. Followed by M. Possibly Dame Judi Dench, who knows. So that's myself, and here is the night skyline, and then we have, oh no, attack of the random number generator. We have to shoot it on the left, that's where it starts, not the right, that's not where it is. Zap! Oh no, in keys! Take that, here comes Pi. This has taken 2 hours so far. Zap! No, left a bit, right a bit, fire! Because eventually, here's point, eventually you're going to run off the end of the character set and then it's going to get very upset with you. So I'm going to stop before then. Come on, come on, come on. Come on. Oh, what is the point? Point tells you whether a pixel on the screen is on or off. So got 250 points there. Let's have another go. So you don't actually have an end game. You either die or you keep playing until things go a bit wrong. So I think now there's opportunity to make it better after saving this version to tape. And I'll see you after the break.
Are you ready for action? Are you ready for adventure? Are you ready for 10 different enemies across 3 stages of blood pumping, adrenaline driving, thrills? New from Stalkers, a game that will make the Oliver twins cry out for more, turn Sandy white, green with envy, and make Jim Blimey pack his bags. Prepare yourself for Magenton.
So this is the finished product of my endeavours, the amazing, the astounding arcade game, Magenton. I've added a loading screen and also using a nice sci-fi font. Got my standard loader I'm using. I'm using sci-fi font number 2 from Charset by Roberto Colombo. And of course, no game is complete without a loading screen. And of course, we need the loading screen of the villain of the game, the leader of the Magentons, who is no other than our old friend, Magenta Jim. Picture created by loading it into ZX Paintbrush and then changing the colour slightly. Look at him there, all magenta-y. So Magenton is a game in 3 stages, as you shall see shortly. It's also available, hopefully, on Jim's website if he's not offended by this loading screen. The game takes about 3 minutes to load. Now we have our introduction. Welcome to arcade action. Defend Earth to invasion by the evil Magentons. Then blast off into space to destroy the Magenton fleet. Finally, ski down Mount Magenton to defeat them once and for all. Here's a nice sci-fi font. Use 5 to move left, 8 to move right, 0 to fire. We have a night skyline, we have small stars, and we have a moon. Let's get ready to rumble. First alien comes down. Miss. Miss. Oh dear. Miss. No, left a bit, right a bit. Left, right a bit. Oh, no. Come on. Yeah, come on. Yes, have it. So if you run out of fuel, it is game over. So now to our third alien. He's coming down. Looks like a sort of standard Space Invader type. They wobble around left and right. I've changed the aliens so they don't start on a random point at the top of the screen. It's on top of you and a bit to the left, a bit to the right, based on which alien you've got. So the later aliens are more likely to be further away from you. Of course, you can always track them in the corner, which makes it a lot easier. Silly Magentons. So you've got 6 of them so far. That's number 7. Number 8, nice and simple. I've defeated Earth, alien menace, now blast off into space. Lovely effect there. So, stage 2, 6 to move down, 7 to move up, and 0 to fire. We have stars again, but this time we don't have a moon. We have the evil planet Magenton itself. Look at it, glowing in space like a big evil round thing. This is done by using the circle, and of course it's a ringed planet, because they're pretty. That's done with draw and the third parameter. So now aliens now approach from the right, going left. And we have a different type of firing provided by the game. This moves a dot across the screen. It's a bit slow. However, if you press the key at the right point, you can detonate and, of cause a hit, because these are nuclear weapons which can have an area effect. I added that bit in myself, because otherwise you wait for ages for the dot to cross the screen, and it's a miss. This makes more sense. You're firing weapons in space. You're not going to get an exact hit, but you might do with a bit of luck. Here we are. I rather like the ringed planet. Boom! Headshot. So up and down we go. This looks like a miss. But I've pressed 0 fast enough in the right space. Yes. Of course, if you are going to completely miss, you have to be within one space of the alien to hit. You can press 0 prematurely to explode, so you don't have to wait forever. But this is going to be good. Close enough. Excellent. Halfway there. Up it goes. Down it goes. Come on. Come on. Try and guess where it is. The further away it is, the harder it gets. So as I get closer, it is easier. That's going to be a direct hit. Boom. That's the second explosion effect the game offers, which is rather nice. They have a number of them. So here I'm firing. And that's not going to be a hit. So let's try again. Move across. That's going to be far too low. Yeah, it's not going to work. So, let's try again. That's better. Boom. Down we go. Well, this is some kind of alien thing. It's approaching us the wrong way. So the character on the left is not provided by the game, but the version that faces left is. So I took one of the alien spaceships, which was facing to the left, and I changed it to be facing to the right and used it as a player spaceship instead. Move across, move across, move across, and boom. Right, is this going to be close enough? It certainly is. I've defeated the Magenton fleet. Now conquer their ice world. Nice effect there with the rockets. Glorious, isn't it? So now we have 5 to move left, and 8 to move right, and any key to continue. We have the Mount Magenton, which is all populated by magenta pine trees, because they're evil. Lots of them. We have to find our way to the bottom without hitting one. And off we go. Skiing there bravely, dodging the trees, to bring the end to the reign of Emperor Jim. And we've done it. As a wise man said, that, my good friends, is one credit as advertised. Thank you for watching.